I can't hear you.
Am I audible, sir? Is this better?
Yes, now you are. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us online, sir. It's a pleasure to have you on stage with us. The floor is all yours, sir. We are eagerly awaiting to hear your thoughts.
Thank you very much, Chapter Chairman CA Sthanamurthy Vishwanathan Miraji, all my distinguished chartered accountant friends from Bahrain, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted that you are celebrating your 15th annual international conference today on a very appropriate theme, the above and beyond. And that is quite intriguing because we've all heard of things like well, we are getting there, we will get there, but you've been bold to say the above and beyond. I don't know whether it's because of some adhyatmic shakti or spiritual discourse or spiritual power that you are able to say that we already are at a level and we are looking at beyond. But I think what you are trying to suggest in your theme, if I may try to deconstruct it in my own, maybe not very right, but in my own way, it demonstrates a self-confidence that was never seen before, particularly amongst Indians. We are almost going back into history, almost going back into our past, into our glorious traditions, what we inherited from our forefathers generations and centuries ago, when once upon a time the country was called as the driver, the engine of economic growth in the world. We contributed almost one third to global economy, where India was called a Sone ki Chidiya, the land of opportunities, the land of great wealth and prosperity. We had over the last many decades almost given up. We were reconciled that we are a fragile five economy. Where's the future? We had reconciled that corruption is a way of life in India. Sab chalta hai. In fact, the joke used to be that Bhagwan bharose desh chalta hai. That narrative is over. That narrative is in the past. Today, India engages with the world with confidence, with a new energy, with an unparalleled, indomitable spirit of confidence. Not arrogance, my friends, self confidence, Atma Vishwas. And that is reflected in your theme today, the above and beyond. I know you are the largest organized professional body of Indians in Bahrain with over 450 plus members and are playing an important role in the major story, the great growth story of Bahrain, with your unwavering commitment to high integrity, high morals, hard work, and outcomes. In fact, it's very appropriate that you remind us of our glory, past glory, because Bahraini pearls and Indian spices have kept a connect between Bahrain and India for probably 5,000 years. And it is that India of yore, that India of the past, it is the India that we all wish to see in ourselves, wish to see in our country. And it is that level of engagement that Bahrain and India are also looking to pursue between the two countries. It's a matter of great happiness and pride when I transited through Bahrain a few days ago, when the ambassador, His Excellency, shared with me that the Srinathji temple in Bahrain stands testimony to our time tested friendship and relationship. The Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, was the first ever Indian Prime Minister to visit Bahrain in 2019. Sad but true. And I believe that's the time you started the redevelopment work of the Srinathji temple also. We are indeed honored and grateful to His Majesty for having conferred on Prime Minister Narendra Modi the King Hamad Order of Renaissance, the highest civilian honor given to anybody in Bahrain, again reflecting the deep cultural connect and trust between our two nations. Before I delve a little deeper into the above and beyond, I would also like to place my grateful acknowledgement to all of you friends, government of Bahrain and the people of Bahrain for support that we received from Bahrain during the COVID pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, when liquid oxygen came from Bahrain in a big way to support India, and vaccines from India went to Bahrain to help, I hope, many of you. I would also like to compliment you on overall for the compelling and thoughtful subjects that you have chosen today: leadership, sustainability, geopolitics, human potential, healthy living. I mean, really, things which are contemporary and things which are necessary. As the Honorable Prime Minister has said, and I quote, chartered accountants are pillars of sound economic and financial ecosystem, shouldering responsibility of ensuring both remain healthy and not plagued by malpractices. And therefore, it is very appropriate that you are looking at both economic, financial, and good health in your deliberations today. In fact, he had also, I think, called chartered accountants ambassadors of a developed India. And that's what you all are in Bahrain. And I thank you for the wonderful work that you are doing and for your contribution with ideas, almost working like an extended think tank to support our efforts to take India back to the days of glory, to make India a developed nation, to make India a prosperous nation, a caring nation where 140 crore Indians have a good quality of life, where every child born in India has a good future awaiting him. Friends, look at the story of India today. This morning in the newspaper, I was reading about a Dehati madam. She's a startup entrepreneur, a YouTuber with about 250,000 subscribers, comes up with English teaching videos in a very colloquial, very rustic, village level style. She has 25, 26 million views for her motivational themes, which were inspired by adversity. She Her story is very telling. Child given away to a relative at a very young age, barely managed to study until the 12th standard, early marriage to a daily laborer. Daily laborer has an accident. To treat her husband, she takes a bank loan. Having taken a bank loan, family is in distress and perjury. This is all the historical past that I'm trying to highlight to help you understand the changing dynamics of India. And she's not one case, friends. I can tell you there are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of such cases coming out of the shadows across the country. She gets motivated by a book on motivational sayings or motivational teachings, decides to train herself in English, and says, I have to brand myself different from the regular motivational teachers, and calls herself the Hathi Madam. For those who are not familiar with Hindi, the Hathi Madam would translate to a rural, rustic village lady. And in her very inimitable style, she's able to connect with her listeners, with her viewers, and help them understand the nuances of English, including grammar and idiom, and help them and train them to be able to be English speaking young boys and girls. Why I say this is the aspirational young India today that we are witnessing in the remotest corners of the country. This is the new India that's developing as the daily needs of a common person, of a simple family, of a poor family are gradually being taken care of, and as people are getting empowered. If the same lady, the same girl was to be born today, she was assured of free food under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana, where 80 crore people are getting free food grains and will continue to get it for at least 5 years more. She was from a farming family. Her produce would get a good value for her produce. She was assured under the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao campaign of education. Educational quality and standards are continuously being improved. If her husband were to meet with an accident under the Ayushman Bharat scheme, she would be assured free healthcare. For the poor at a very nominal cost. If there was an accident in the family, under the government's insurance scheme, they would have received a lump sum money, which would have helped them tide over the accident period before he gets back to work. As a startup entrepreneur, she would have got support through various funding mechanisms, Startup India supports or promotes, to be able to delve into the future with confidence and much faster. She would have been supported with the spread of digital technologies across the country under Digital India, so that with 5G also penetrating, she would have been able to reach the remotest corners of India. And her story would have been completely different. Far more opportunities would be available to her, and she would be today living a better life, a good life, much faster than the pain that Vasudha, I think her name is, that this Vasudha from Kosambi in UP, the pain that she had to go through will not be the pain of a young person born in the new India that I hope each one of you can be proud of. Friends, today India is focusing, after having strengthened the basic economic fundamentals, the macroeconomic fundamentals, to a level where our foreign exchange reserves are twice what they were 10 years ago, where we've moved from a fragile five economy to a top five economy in the world, where inflation is probably the lowest India has ever seen at about 4.5% average for the last 9.5 years, where interest rates are down. Never before interest rates at an average available for different sections of society. Small businesses who used to pay 12, 14, 15% can now get a loan at 7, 8, or 10%. An economy where the port capacity in India has been doubled in 10 years, where the airports, functional commercial airports, have doubled from 74 to 150 over the last 9 years and expected to further grow to 225 in the next 5 years, where 114 new inland waterways have been started, where a big network of railways and highways of modern high quality, I would say comparable to the autobahns that we enjoy in Germany or the beautiful infrastructure that we see in other parts of the world, is now being created in India. In fact, the next time you are here, I would urge you to come and spend some time in Delhi. Come and see the new Parliament House. Visit Bharat Mandapam in one of our exhibitions going on there all the time, the place where the G20 Leaders Summit was held. Go and see Yashobhumi, another convention center, huge. Collectively, these two convention centers are amongst the largest in the world. Each one of them is amongst the largest in the world. And collectively, these two have about 220,000 square meters, which would mean almost 2 million plus square feet of exhibition area. Proper, good, smart, modern, well equipped, digitally enabled, well connected with tunnels, underground parking, metro coming right into the Yashobhumi complex. The India of today is prepared to engage with the world as a trusted partner, offering a large demand of 1.4 billion Indians who are finally seeing life of today and beyond, who are seeing and experiencing with 930 million internet connected users, most of them on the smart mobile phone, are seeing what's happening in Bahrain, are seeing what's happening in Sydney, Tokyo, New York, Frisco, London, Paris, Geneva, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Riyadh. They're getting connected to the world. They're seeing the opportunities across the world. And with their basic needs, food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, education, water, electricity, digital connectivity, quality infrastructure at the doorstep, with these being taken care of, we have an empowered 1.4 billion people, young people. The Indian demography supports our growth. Our average age is under 30. For the next 30 years, we'll continue to be below 30. Two-thirds of our people are in the working age. And in the next 30 years or less, in this Amrit Kal, by 2047, where we wish to see India as a developed and prosperous nation, we will add $30 trillion more to the economy, making ours a $35 trillion economy, a prosperous, vibrant economy, taking care of the people of India, giving them a good future, giving them quality of life, ease of living, opportunities. India today is at the forefront of 5 Gs: growth, good governance, genuine trust, grit. You saw the recent rescue operation at the Silk Yara rescue tunnel, where we rescued 41 people after 15, 16 days of suffering. The grit and determination with which they have survived in there, and the efforts that Prime Minister Modi and his team, from the PMO, the state chief minister, Mr. Pushkar Dhami and his team, the experts, the rescuers, and then finally even the miners, who all came together and conducted one of the most dramatic rescue operations. Our Chandrayaan 3 mission, our Aditya mission, all of these stories of grit. And the fifth G, green innovation, green technologies, green energy, sustainability. The 5 Gs give us a wave of optimism. We just got the results yesterday of the second quarter growth of this year, July to September, 7.6% growth, the fastest growing large economy in the world, expected to continue to be so for the next 3 decades, 30 years. Thus, it's the power of 30, the power of 30 that is driving India to add $30 trillion in less than 30 years with an under 30 population, which, friends, is driving India. We are becoming a digital hub of the world, a global bright spot for investors. Our stock market, our market capitalization just touched $4 trillion 2 days back. You, my friends, are the pillars as chartered accountants of this growth story. And I'm sure, whether in India or in Bahrain or anywhere in the world, as living bridge between India and Bahrain, as our ambassadors to Bahrain, you will make India proud with your commitment, your dedication, your integrity, your hard work, and your passion to serve the land of your choice, the land which gives you a living, your karma bhumi, while never forgetting that your matra bhumi also deserves a small part of your contribution in our journey to prosperity. Friends, let's push the boundaries. Let's explore new horizons. Let's shape a formidable future. With your permission, if I can make a couple of suggestions. One, promote Make in India. Be vocal for local. Recognize that every Indian product that you buy supports some family, some child in India. For that matter, the Prime Minister has made a clarion call. Have your weddings in India. Celebrate your festivals in India. From Bahrain, it's a stone's throw away. You can just fly into India, celebrate the grandest wedding with your family, friends. You'll be adding to jobs. You'll be supporting the Indian economy. You'll be supporting people in your village. You'll be buying from our craftsmen, our artisans. You'll be supporting our Vishwakarmas. Second, facilitate new avenues for India's businesses in Bahrain and beyond. It could be medicines, the pharma sector, renewable energy, agri sector, food processing. That will also add to the food security of Bahrain, of course. Supply chain and logistics is a strength area of Bahrain. India can offer you ICT and fintech. We can offer you high quality education. Now, with the national education policy, we are looking outward. Our IITs, our IIMs, our private institutions can be set up in Bahrain in collaboration with Bahraini educational institutions. Become that vibrant bridge promoting the Indian opportunity to Bahrain and bring Bahrain to India for what they want, what they need. And finally, support and invest in Indian startups, our MSME sector, our manufacturing sector, into our economy, because being above and beyond is not a destination, it's a journey. It's a continuous journey. It's the shared vision of Bahrain economic vision at 2030 and India's commitment of Viksit Bharat by 2047. Together we can, together we will. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Namaskar.
Piyush, with your kind permission, I would just like to summarize the last 5 points that you just mentioned so that it's etched in the memories of our members present here. Promote Make in India, facilitate businesses both ways, Indian businesses in Bahrain and beyond, and vice versa. Add to food security in Bahrain. Let's establish educational universities and private universities in Bahrain under the new education scheme launched in India. And finally, support and invest in Indian startups. These takeaway points are there for us, and I'm sure this will we will remember these for time to come and act on them in our next journey back to our motherland, our Matrubhumi, as you rightly said, Bharat. We thank you for your time taken, dedicated for us at such short notice. And we also would like to, with your kind permission, give you a memento here on stage because we couldn't give it to you in person, along with the Ponnadai, which was planned on stage just as a display of our love and affection. And if permissible to your excellency, we would ask the Indian ambassador to the Kingdom of Bahrain to receive it on your behalf, if it is with your permission, sir.
As a policy, I don't accept any mementos. I will take it from you as a mark of respect. And then either you can keep it in your chapter office there, or the ambassador can keep it at the embassy in remembrance of today's program. But I'm grateful to you for having been so thoughtful.
Just a second, so we'll have that.
Thank you and have a lovely, successful conference. Wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much, Piyush ji. It was lovely having you here. Thank you. With that, we